It's the foundation. Hey, NFL season is back. They're gonna do a Cowboys and Giants video and a separate one, but just want to go quickly to the rest of the games. So I got Carolina at Denver, the rematch of the Super Bowl. With Benjamin coming back, Cam Newton, kind of downplaying it and all that. I think they really want to put this in. Both defenses are good, so I think they're gonna kind of meet tit for tat for as far as like defense. They're gonna be shutting down each other's defense. I mean each other's offense for most majority of the game. A lot of pressure on Simeon. Off of a Super Bowl victory, and then Peyton Manning retire. All the lights is gonna be on him. Being his first real start in the NFL. And I see that the Carolina Panthers just edging them out, just getting enough points to win. Even though Denver has one of the best home field advantages out there. I think Carolina's just gonna pull it out. Next we got Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Again, this is the division rival. Home team, I think they're gonna energize the defense. I think they're gonna energize the whole team. In fact, might be one of those games where Julio Jones just goes crazy on the whole game. It might not be like a full exciting game, but I think it's gonna be like a lot of big plays at certain times. It's not gonna be like high scoring like 38-31 or something like that, but it's gonna be I think there's gonna be some big plays in the game. Next we got Buffalo and Baltimore. I'm gonna roll with Buffalo on this one. Flacco and Smith and Suggs coming back from injury. Never know how that works out. Buffalo, McCoy and Watkins and Tyrod Taylor. I think he's gonna make an impact on the league this year. And I know that Rex Ryan really wants his defense to bounce back after being being the weaker side of the team last year. But I got them winning. I got them winning this game. Semi-up upset. Chicago and Houston. I'm gonna roll with Houston. That their defense had, let alone brought them to the playoffs. Even though Watt comes back, with Watt coming back from injury, I think that he's gonna command a lot of the attention. And then Clowney looks like he wants to make his coming out party, being felt and all that. And Chicago's offensive line is not stellar or anything like that. On offense, Osweiler, all he has to do is not crash, but he has a couple pair of great receivers. Lamar Miller, all he has to do is not crash. And without Adam Case there anymore, he helped Cutler be the most efficient. And then also Langford, there's no Forte anymore to be that veteran leader. So a lot of changes in Chicago as well too. Next, Green Bay and Jacksonville. I'm gonna go Green Bay on the road. I think it might take time. Jacksonville is on the rise, but I think I think they're gonna kind of control the ball in the beginning with Eddie Lacy. Eddie Lacy looks in great shape for the Green Bay Packers. Jordy Nelson come back, so it might take him a little time in the flow of the game. But I think as they rush the ball, I think they're gonna pin up some routes. Spread the defense out a little bit more. So, and then finally you're gonna see him getting the ball to Cobb, and then finally on a big play you're gonna see maybe Jordan Nelson get on that. Jacksonville's gonna be a knocking team, but I think they just not gonna have it in this game. Next is San Diego and Kansas City. First, gotta show support to local boy Manti Te'o, but they're gonna lose this game. And they might lose it pretty bad too. KC is one of the hardest places, one of the best home field advantages out there. And the thing is about them, they're kind of boring, but they don't make mistakes. So, their defense is solid. But might be one of those weird games. Division rivals, you never know. But I can see that. I can see KC dominating this game. Next, the Oakland Raiders and New Orleans Saints. You heard that Breeze got his new contract, but I'm gonna go with Oakland. Oakland, I picked them to be one of the wild card teams. And in order to them, they gotta start winning these kind of games. Saints are not looking that good, other than Drew Brees and maybe a couple other guys. But Carr looks like he's ready to kind of up his quarterback status, and Cooper being a promising rookie, he might wanna he's gonna like try and wanna put the league on notice. And Murray, a solid running back. Their defense, Saints offensive line is not that good, and Mac is gonna have a field day with it. So I can see them winning this game, even though New Orleans has one of the louder crowds. But I just see them winning. Cincinnati versus the Jets. I'm gonna roll with the Jets at home. Andy Dalton without Hugh Jackson, gave him his most prolific year, best career year, and then but you never know. Like, the older you get, sometimes you take what they get and you apply it to yourself. But with Green and Revis locking up, that they kind of cancel each other. Still, yet the Jets defense is probably one of the state is the face of the franchise. But then with Fitzpatrick, the best wide receiver touchdown tandem, and their running game is solid. So I can see the Jets pulling this one out. Next is Cleveland and Philadelphia. Cleveland, no. I love Cleveland to win, but I'm gonna roll with Philly. RG3 looks like he has some flashes, but he's not gonna have Josh Gordon in the beginning. And Philadelphia's defense is their bright spot this year. They create a lot of turnovers, and so all Wentz has got to do is not, and their defense is not. So Wentz might have a little bit of success with Beckham, with Green Beckham, because Cleveland's defense is not that good. And this, what is his name? The cornerback, locks them down. But I can see them. All he has to do is not turn over the ball for Wentz. Next is Minnesota and Tennessee. I'm gonna go with Minnesota on the road, just because I think they're one of our complete teams in the NFL. Looks like it's gonna be back to Adrian Peterson, a heavy dose of Adrian Peterson, but they got a couple good receivers now. They got Diggs and they got Treadwell. They get Rudolph of safety blanket for whoever plays quarterback. Their defense is solid. So again, is another thing where the quarterback does not have to win the game. All he has to do is make some plays and not beat themselves. And this is going to be kind of a lower scoring game, because it looks like Tennessee had converted themselves into a more power rushing team, with Murray and Henry and all that, more physical. The only way I can, first, also I got to show another support thing for another local boy, Mariota, but, unless, Mariota can work some magic up and get some big plays out of it, I can't see them beating Minnesota. Next, you got the Miami and Seattle. Seattle at home, is one of the most hardest place to play. Now it's the Russell Wilson show. No more beast mode. Rawls, I don't know if he's coming back yet, but I know Christian Michael has shown he can play. Their wide receivers are underrated, and their defense is still their identity yet. And their defensive line doesn't get enough credit. They fly to the ball, and with that being said, I think the chances that they can neutralize Russell Wilson a little bit, because Miami's front four is probably one of the better front fours. Thing is, can Tannehill putting up points on the board, and can they control the tempo to not have Russell Wilson dictate the game? but I cannot see that happening. So I have the Seattle Seahawks winning. Next is Patriots and Cardinals. This one kind of scared me a little bit because I did pick Cardinals as one of the better teams. But yeah, because the way Palmer played in the preseason is kind of scary. And the thing is, with the Patriots, their defense, you can make all the yards you want on them. They just don't, they don't let you score, and they create turnovers, so, that's going to be a challenge. But they do have, but the Cardinals do have to score because, the longer you give Garoppolo more confidence, I think they have to get up on it early just to neutralize Garoppolo. With Garoppolo has some weapons, that Hogan kid, Gronkowski, obviously Bennett, and Amendola. I don't know if Amendola is playing in this game, but also Edelman. A lot of weapons they have. The only thing bad about that is that they have a bad offensive line, and Cardinals have a great defensive front. So that's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to shut down Garoppolo, and then they're gonna have to get some points, and then really force Garoppolo not to get any confidence in him. Next is Pittsburgh and Washington. Draw. No. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. Big Ben. You can't bet against him in this kind of game. Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown versus Josh Norman. Might be interesting because one thing us Cowboys fans know, you give a guy a lot of money and he gives up a big play. Next we wasted money. So Josh Norman, as long as he doesn't give up the big play at the wrong time, he could be an interesting matchup. DeAngelo Williams has been very solid for them. The drop off hasn't been that much or that noticeable without Le'Veon Bell, but the Pittsburgh defense is still getting younger, and I think they're gonna cause problems for Kirk Cousins and all that. That's the knock on Kirk Cousins, that they haven't beaten a winning team. They have enough offensive power, but I think between Ben Roethlisberger and usually I don't like to compare quarterbacks, but I think in this kind of thing, I think Pittsburgh can pull out this kind of game. Next is the Rams and the 49ers. In a mini upset, I'm gonna go 49ers. 49ers opening night. For the last couple of years, they've been doing some great performances against my Cowboys. Then last year against the Minnesota Vikings, both ended up in the playoffs. So maybe it's a good sign. Maybe they should lose, and then the Rams should lose, and then they get in the playoffs. No, I'm just playing. Both quarterbacks, it's not gonna really matter. But they have both great running backs. Especially Todd Gurley. Him against Bowman is gonna be an interesting one. I think it's gonna come down to, I think the 49ers crowd is gonna give them enough energy to pull out this game. Well, again, I'm gonna make a Cowboys and versus Giants video after I upload this. Finish uploading this one. All right, mahalo for watching. Paniola boys, go Cowboys.